Good morning from Hermanus in South Africa, whale watching capital of the world, allegedly, but I know of a spot. Here I go on a scenic route already, trying to keep these videos short, but here I go with the story. Any tourists coming to Hermanus to see the whales, yes, you'll see them in the bay, calving, beautiful sight, but they come much closer to the coast around at De Kelders, which is sort of a 40-minute drive from Hermanus. So that's your tourism information for today. Now, to pick up from the last video where I put paint into bubble wrap and then put the canvas face down in it and ended up with a ungodly, I don't know, splodges of color, far too much. So that's a lesson for next time. I'll use less paint. But we got something like this. If I can show this to you. That's a bubble wrap. That's how that ended up looking. It's a bit stuck. There we go. So I put my canvas into that, and I'll show you the results. Hang on a second. Clearly, I've worked on it quite a bit. It needed it. Those great big splodges of paint needed to be spread out a bit and added to. And somehow I ended up with this, which again wasn't a preconceived idea or anything. And I think I still need to do some work around here. I don't know if these are waves, but yeah. In fact, I had to salvage this. I had too much blue and white going over the bottom of this shape, and you can make up your own minds about what that is, and you can make up your own minds about what that is. Probably says a lot more about me than I'm comfortable with, but I think it's about embracing the feminine. I never use pink in my paintings or in my through-glass photography, but that sort of bled out from the red, which I used as a focal point to remember on the bubble wrap. And then, without thinking about it, I used a palette knife and put a big cross through it. I just felt it needed that. No religious connotations for me, but again, you can see what you want to see in that painting. But that's what we landed up with. Not quite finished with it yet. Don't think it's my best ever work, but I learned a good lesson about applying too much paint to the template, if you like, of the bubble wrap. Anyway, on to today. It's Sunday today. I usually have classical music on a Sunday morning, but I had that in my last video, so I thought I'd give you a change, and I'm playing my Laid Back at La Placide playlist, which is basically chill out stuff. Leonard Cohen, Nick Drake, a bit of Cat Stevens, I don't know, lots of new contemporary musicians whose names I can't remember, but yeah, it's nice, chilled, laid back music for a Sunday. Anyway, let's get on to the job at hand. I'm going to do that so that you see the painting. I thought I'd start it because my videos, as you worked out, tend to run on too long. So what I've done here is I've taken a painting I did in the early part of my 2-month stint as a painter, which turned out to be an absolute dog's breakfast, and painted white over it so I could start again. So it's been sitting here drying, waiting for this, I think. And what I'm doing is I'm after watching a tutorial by the lovely Fiona, an Australian woman who does art tutorials, and I must remind you that these videos of mine are certainly not tutorials because I don't know what I'm doing, but what I say is come along for the ride, enjoy, have some fun, notice the mistakes, don't make them yourself or try to circumvent them, and we'll just have a bit of fun as we go along. Yeah, very much a learning process. But Fiona's YouTube channel, I think it's called Fiona's Creative Canvas. She's got thousands upon thousands of subscribers, etc. And you know, but why not give her a shout out, because she's been quite helpful to me in terms of giving me ideas and learning or not learning to apply them properly. But she did this tutorial which is all about just using sponges. So that's what I've done, and I'm keeping the colors muted today. I got drawn into using red yesterday, and I've added a bit of gold, and it's become quite bright. And I'll probably end up doing bright colors in my painting, or using mostly bright color, primary colors. But I want to keep it subdued today and try something different. So for the sponge exercise, I'm using well, the colors I put on here, which is a mix of black and white, obviously, to get a darkish grey. I wanted it a bit lighter, but it didn't turn out like that. And I think this is burnt umber. Yeah, because I've still got the burnt sienna, which I'm going to use. And yellow ochre. And a bit of lemon yellow, just for a little pop of some colour, but not a very powerful colour. But anyway, it's all, and I don't have new sponges. I haven't been shopping yet. That's happening on Tuesday. I will buy some. But I've got some old sponges that I've used for cleaning in the kitchen, cleaning in the bathroom. They're a bit damp. But you know what? If you look at the brown, the burnt umber, it's sort of got like a distressed effect. And that was caused by the sponge being a bit damp. So I quite like that, so I'm not going to get too fussed about that. I noticed Fiona was using like an ice cream stick to put the paint directly on the canvas and then take the sponge and work it. I didn't have an ice cream stick, but I split a wooden peg into two halves, and I'm going to use that. All right, let's get cracking. Otherwise, it's going to end up taking a long time. I don't have a lot of space to work with, so I'm going to have to be quite focused. Sorry, I think I had a hair in my mouth. That's all I need. Let's just go the yellow ochre for contrast with what I've been. After just saying that she puts it straight onto the canvas, I haven't, and I've probably squirted out too much, which I'm finding is what I do, which is a waste. But all right, let's just take it from here with the wooden thing. And let's just start off with a tricky little corner here between two darkish colours. See how that works. I think I'll use one of my smaller sponges that I get out of my vitamin C bottles. I don't know if you can see what I'm doing here, but yeah, I don't know what shape. Let's just go for it. I'm going to use the edge of it so I can control it a bit more. quite nice. I'll put a bit more paint on there. I'm just filling in the gaps. But I don't have to fill them all in. That's an important lesson for me to learn, apart from dispensing with too much paint and oh God, can you see that? Nice little bit of, nice colour actually. Sponges there. There's another good lesson for me is to not try to fill up the whole canvas, which is what I tend to do, as you notice. But I've got more control over this one, so if I do, it's completely and utterly my own fault. Got far too much of this lovely yellow. Okay, you know what? What you ask? I'm going to do something. Fiona's video, which I watched again this morning, just to remind myself. She ended up with a lovely abstract. It was all very linear, and I like to mix things up a bit, and I love circles. So we're going to get a yellow ochre circle. If I switch this around in here, I have done this once before with a painting. I see it over there, and I was quite pleased with the outcome. Let's see if we can do the same here and use up quite a lot of this paint. What we're going for is a circle. Doesn't have to be perfect, but I think that'll go, yeah, right there. I'm just pushing the sponge down a bit, hoping for the best. It's a bit, well, it's actually, I'm just going to do it again. It hasn't gone fully on. I don't think I've managed to cover the whole round surface with paint, but if I turn it around, oh shit, sorry, pardon my language. Let's go again. Try to make it a bit more consistent. Or yeah, I'm quite pleased with that. I'm going to have to wash this sponge before using it again. Got a circle there. I'm probably going to do one in the middle, but I'm going to leave that till last, my focal point. Got a little surprise for that. But I think we can, while we've got the yellow going here, just create, I used that the edge, do that again. It's a very soft day here in Amanus today. just gone past winter solstice. We've had the rain and we've had the wind, of course, because rain doesn't arrive here in this huffy puffery of a off a scale wind to bring it in, and that's all happened in the last couple of days. And now it's just what the Irish call, I think, a soft day. A little bit of drizzle earlier, overcast and cool and gentle and soft and quiet, being a Sunday. So let's just go in here. Shall I? Yeah. See what happens. Hang on. I'm picking up a dog. That's another lesson. Not to use your palette properly and not put the yellow ochre on top of a dark colour from a couple of days ago. Somehow I've got grey on here. That was entirely unintentional. Let's see if we can... Oh well, it is what it is. I might touch that up later, but I'm not going to make this video any longer. Gosh, I think we're already at 16 minutes. I don't know where the time goes. As Sandy Denny sings so beautifully, who knows where the time goes. What a beautiful song that is. Alright, that hasn't worked too well. Let's press on quickly. Burnt sienna. Having just learnt my lesson, let's get rid of that sponge. Let's go to an unused part of my paper plate palette. Why spend money on a palette when paper plates work perfectly well? This looks like it's a rather nice colour for this. I haven't used this before. Put too much on again. Oh man, I'm too heavy-handed with the paint. Anyone would think I'm wealthier, and that I certainly am not. Let's spread it around a bit. Ah, far too much. Could fill a whole canvas with this. I'm just doing accents really. All left thumbs today, or whatever the saying is. Let's do another circle. Seeing as I've got a lot of paint too. Squidge it around in the... What is this? Burnt sienna. Oh, I love this song. Melanie de Blasio. I think it's called Let It Flow or something. Go with the flow. Andean flow, I don't know, some other flow. So I'm going to squeeze in a circle here, which wasn't my original plan, but... And I'm just remembering I painted white over... I'd gone too mad on the charcoal grey. So it's all a step back and hopefully 2 steps forward here. I have no idea how this is going to... I painted white over... I'd done another charcoal grey stripe and it was too much. I've got to rein myself in it. I just get too carried away. No, it's a nice effect, eh? It's a nice effect. It's not a perfect circle, but it's a nice sort of round blodge of a very lovely colour. Now I want to make a stripe somewhere, and I think it's going to be here. because this original painting, before I painted over it to do this work, I used, I didn't have modeling paste to create textures, so I used Bostik. Yeah, it's like a glue, I think. Well, I've used it as a glue, and it worked quite well. I've got some nice textures. Let's see if we can just go over this texture, but I don't know if you can see that it's textured. But that'll show up quite nicely, I think. Yeah. Yeah, there's another sponge to get thrown into my bathroom sink. Oh, a sip of water. Time to use, these are a bit damp. My kitchen sponge scourer things. This one feels a bit less damp. Now Fiona spray, or with other people who do tutorials too, spray water, and I went and got a water bottle, but I must say I'm a bit nervous about using it. They spray water onto their canvases, and I don't know, I'm a bit worried about getting all runny, maybe worrying unnecessarily, but I've used the yellow ochre, haven't I? Yeah. Okay. So a bit of lemon yellow, and focus, Hatman. Focus. Please try to not put too much on, and put it where it's going to mix up with. Hopefully that blue's dry. It's my previous painting, the last one I did. There you go. That's a bit. I've been a bit more sparing in my. Right. So what are we going to do? I use this palette knife for mixing, or spreading the paint on the palette. Seems to work quite well. Okay, I haven't used too much there, so. Don't have a lot of space to work with. What I'm going to do is I'm going to use the edge of this. See if I can work something here. I don't know. Quite nice. Just gone off. Gone off piste there a bit with what I was doing, what I thought I was doing. The sponge had other ideas. Alright, let's do that again. This is the edge of the sponge. I'm quite keen to see what the rough side, the scourer side, does on a canvas, but I don't think I've left myself enough space to actually moving the canvas around to work up at the top here, and I'm just going to go along here. Okay. put too little yellow ochre on here. But I'm just going to make a stripe. There. A bit too close to the other colours, but I'm first time with the sponge, so I really don't know what I'm doing actually. I'm just going to put a splodge here. It's not going to come out. Oh, I picked up a bit of brown off there. Oh well, it's going to be different. Embrace the mistakes, I think. It's all on one, well, it's mostly on one edge, so it's putting a bit of a square. Not a square in anybody's book. This is a splodge. Probably nothing wrong with a splodge. Okay, I'm going to draw this to a close. I hope I have another round one I haven't used. I wonder if I get away with this one. It's got a bit of blue on it. Oh dear. I was also thinking of using my granny loofah thing. You know, these things that hang in people's showers and they get in your way and you curse them. Grannies use them to wash their bodies, I think. Maybe some granddads too. And it leaves a very interesting effect. But that's for, I was thinking of using it on here, but I need space to express myself, but that's not going to happen. So now this, for my focal point, is my little magic bottle of metallic gold. And I'm wondering how to apply this. I've got a cork here, I'm tempted to, but no, that's not the right instrument. Look, I'm going to go with this for the purposes of this video, and I'm going to do what Fiona was doing. Actually, it's quite nice, this yellow splodge with a bit of burnt sienna on the edge of it. Add something different. What's happened to that? Never mind. Things get lost here. Take the metallic paint. And doing it this way, you're more careful about how much you put on. So maybe I should just go straight onto canvas more often than using a palette where I tend to squirt out paint to my heart's content. Alright, just see if we can do that. I hope. I've used this with blue before and I didn't wash it properly, which is again very naughty of me. So I'm just going to move this around and see what the hell happens. I'm telling myself I need a bit more, and I need to spread out a bit more. Almost have to make the circle myself, I think. And then apply the sponge to it. One more copy for the road. This is some young woman called Frazee Ford. Not really my genre of music, but this is quite catchy. This quite like it. Okay, let's go. Hopefully we'll end up with a golden orb. I will turn the sponge around. Probably not the best idea. I sense I've got a bit of repair work to do after this. I might want to put something over it. Well, let's see how this works out. No, it's quite interesting. I don't know if you can see that. It's a bit that goes off piece there. One more cup of coffee for the road. There we go. There we go. Just needed a bit of dabbing. We live and we learn. We paint and we learn. Anyway, you're looking at it sideways. It should be portrait shape, but you're not going to be able to see it on the video that way. So that's what we've got at the moment. I might tinker a little bit and then get back to you with the next video and show you the results. That's enough for now. Have a wonderful Sunday wherever you are in the world.